Just think about where we were in the early part of this year. Many strategists were predicting the S&P 500 would end the year between 3,900 or 4,000. Now, some of those have had to raise their forecasts. The average, though, is still below where we are trading. The year was kind of supposed to be a mess, but it's not, at least so far. So how many got so much so wrong, and where do we go from here after this blazing hot summer start? Joining us now with some further insight, seasoned investor and founder of Tasty Trade, Tom Sosnoff. Tom, to what do you attribute or ascribe this nice little rally that was tasty rally that we are in?
I love when you guys call me up to spoil the party. I'm the fun vacuum, as they say.
Tom Sosnoff, appreciate it. Good night. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No, it really has been an amazing rally. I mean, it's easy to, you can attribute this rally to the NASDAQ, and you can thank a few of the top key players, the little mega monopolies, the trillion-dollar babies. This is all they own this one.
And we put out some of the macroeconomic things out there about inflation rolling over, retail sales strong, sure. And that's all nice. I would consider that sprinkles. I think the actual cake here, again, you're closer to it than I am. You got these CTAs. They were, sort of waiting for this from a technical basis. You got a lot of hedge funds that were long short. Maybe they were off sides a bit. There's still some pent-up money on the sideline. It almost feels like some technicals are kind of kicking in.
Yeah, I mean, all the above, of course. But I think thinking up to it, I wouldn't be worried too much about inflation here. I'd be much more worried. If you want to be nervous about something, I'd be nervous about complacency. Brian, I'm an option trader, and we kind of specialize in option analytics. And for the first time in a long time, we look at pricing skew and the perception of risk, velocity of risk. And for the first time in a long time, there's no real put risk velocity out there right now. The market is pricing it in on the call side, and you rarely see that except that when markets get very complacent and near market tops. So that's probably the thing I'd be most concerned about. And of course, also the concentration of this rally.
Yeah. So when you say risk velocity, we got probably a lot of non-pros watching last call. What do you mean in layman's terms? What is risk velocity?
So what the derivatives markets do is they price the velocity of risk into derivative instruments. So for example, if the market perceives there's more upside, potentially, the speed at which a move can go to the upside, it will price calls more expensive than puts. And if the market perceives the risk to be downside, it will price puts more expensive than calls. It's just velocity of risk. And so the market always prices puts more expensive than calls. And for the first time in a long time, it's pricing calls way more expensive than puts. And so it just means that there's been a shift in the perception of where risk is. And anytime you see that, it just shows that we're getting a little complacent. We're getting maybe a little bit ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. The bond market, I think, used to kind of control the stock market. Now I think the options market really determines. When I want to know where I think the equity market is going, I ask guys like you, I ask some of the smart options guys, because the options market is so big now, it can kind of push around the equity market. What is the options market saying about the near term and maybe medium term?
Yeah, well, options don't lie. That's always been the saying on the trading floors in Chicago. Futures and options that move the S&Ps, they never lie. And so they've clearly been very strong. Specifically, the last couple of weeks have been incredible, but has been very one-dimensional. The Russell and the Dow have been lagging, and the Russell specifically in a big way. So this has really been a one-trick pony, a NASDAQ rally.
Yeah, and people like it though. We want to be happy that things are moving up, not down.
It's the big kids. It's the big kids. Yeah, they love it.
They're pulling all the other little kids in the wagon. Hope the wheel doesn't come off. Tom Sosnoff, Tasty Trade. Really appreciate it.